Video, I'll be giving a quick demo of Assurance to show how we can do integrated tests in NetSuite with it. So first things first, we have the center tab, and if we hover over it, we can see there are 4 record types that it cares about. In this video, I'll just be going over tests. So you can see that a test is just a collection of steps to execute. We have 3 types: setup, data, executing the script, and then evaluating the result. So an average test will probably have at least one of each of these. I have an example of a test that's already written. I made a RESTlet to create sales orders, and so this test has 5 steps. The first step is to set up data, where we are setting our payload as a constant. Assurance is pretty much a low-code solution where you can do some inline JavaScript. Once we make that payload, we execute our RESTlet, and you can see we pass in a script ID and a script deployment. From the test page, there are a couple fields that we can't see on this step, so I'll open this one up. And we can see that we also have parameters and then a response constant. So in the parameters, I'm putting the method, the headers, and then as the body, I'm assigning that constant variable that I assigned in step 1. And then whatever this returns, whether it's a 200 or a 500, it's going to store that in this myResponse constant variable. So if I go back to my test, the next step, I want to evaluate that response code. So I'm making sure that it's equal to 200. If it equals anything else, this test will fail. Then I'm going to parse out the body and get the ID and store that as an order ID constant. And then finally, I am evaluating that my order ID has the values set that I expect. So I'm telling NetSuite to go check a sales order with the ID stored in this variable, and then check these fields. The key is the field it's checking, and the value is what the value of the field should equal. So if this sales order has a entity other than 3, it will fail. For item, it's an array, which means item is a sublist, and within that sublist, the first line should have an item field equal to 5506 with a quantity of 1, an item field of whatever equal to that, and then a quantity of 2. And this, of course, matches the payload that we're sending in. Where we passed in a red bike frame and 24-inch tires, and so on. So from this page, I can go ahead and click run. And if we give it a minute, it is executing all these steps. And then once it completes, it should give us either a red or green banner. And then we can go check the recent run sub-tab to see that this just completed with a success. I'll actually open that up. So this is the second record type that we talked about, those runs. And this will just give me a little bit of extra information. So in step 1, I created my constant variable payload. And then in step 2, I assigned the RESTlet response to this constant myResponse. Step 3 was successful, had the expected value of 200. Step 4, we pull out the order ID from the RESTlet response to be 1458. And then I see that it has all of the expected values. And if I actually go and open this sales order, 1458, just to make sure that the test did what we expect it to, this is a different one, but let me go to our sales order. Here I can see that my customer was the one from our payload, Bikes R Us, and then our items, red bike frame and 24-inch bike tire. The RESTlet handled those correctly. So that's a quick demo of how Assurance works.